I'm Britta, and today we'll be talking to Chiima about Hyper Japan and meeting Deadlift Lolita, London Blue, and Tokyo Flavor. Hey Chiima!
Hi! How are you?
Good, how about you?
I'm good, thank you. Yay.
So can you start by introducing yourself?
Okay, I'm Chiima, but I'm also going by Kelly May on some websites and such, but I am a writer and I also do YouTube, so I am a video reactor. So yeah, but I mostly write about idols in my spare time if I can.
Yeah, and I read your blog, Okay Musume Time, for like ever since I got into idols in 2013 probably. So you were like one of the inspirations for starting my blog, and I watched your videos too.
Gosh. Thank you. I always find it weird if people tell me, oh, I read your blog and it made me want to blog, because I never thought I'd get to that point ever.
No, you taught me about so many groups, and I loved reading all your posts.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm really blushing right now.
So you've been doing your blog for a long time, and how did you first get into idols?
Okay, so I was really into anime and manga like most people are, before they get into Japanese idols in the Western fandom. And my sister's the reason I got into like anime and manga, and then she was also one of the reasons why I got into idols as well. But I really enjoyed like music from Korean Revolution and Mermaid Melody. So
yeah. Mermaid Melody Smilage? I never watched that.
No, that was Lil Pri. Mermaid Melody was just like its own thing, and it had some just voice actresses who were also singers kind of thing. But I enjoyed those sorts of things. I've always enjoyed music and musicals and whatnot. So it kind of helped me to transition into idols. But Korean Revolution introduced me to Kaharu Kasumi. And my sister was really into like groups like Kyuta and Buono back then from Shugokara. And Shugokara introduced me to Buono. And when I was researching Kaharu, I found about Morning Musume, and then I found out that Morning Musume were a part of Hello Project, which also had Kyoto and Buono. So I was really intrigued, and from then on, I really got into idols, and my sister then introduced me to like Paspo and Bumpy, and she was more into like idols that were outside of Hello Project. I was really into just Hello Project, and then it really switched. She's more into Hello Project now, and I'm everywhere.
Bumpy was a pretty small group, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a 5-member unit. 2 of the members were sisters, and they disbanded in 2000 and I forget when.
A while ago, right?
I think they disbanded in 2014. I don't know, but they disbanded, and I was upset. And they're still one of my top tier groups, and I love them.
So what year was it that you started getting into idols?
I'm calling it 2009.
So it's been almost 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah. That's when I really got into Morning Musume and everything. So like my anniversary is next August. Because I really got into idol groups, or Morning Musume at least, just before Kaharu's graduation. So I remember it like that.
That's depressing to get into idols through Kaharu and then immediately having her graduate.
I lost her just immediately afterwards. I was like, ah! I was so sad. I was so distraught. And, but I went over to Gaki pretty quickly, actually. So it's okay.
So today we're going to be talking about Hyper Japan.
Yes!
Can you tell us about what Hyper Japan is for people who don't know?
Okay, so Hyper Japan is a British convention. It's based in London, and I don't know how long they've been going on for, but they do a lot about Japanese culture. Obviously, they do stuff like sake tasting, and they sell a lot of Japanese-based things. They sell a lot of Pokemon stuff, a lot of anime and manga and magazines. They even have the pillows and such that you can buy with anime characters on them. Oh, yes. And you can get sweets and food and whatnot, and they just have a lot of different stores and a lot of different things to experience, and you can see like people performing and whatnot. But one of the unique things about it that other conventions don't do is that it brings actual Japanese idols or Japanese performers to the UK. And they also do like amateur ones as well, and British performers and whatnot, and then they also have voice actors sometimes, I think. I'm kind of unsure. Actually, I don't know about the voice actors. That one might be wrong. But
I think they do.
But they do have a lot going on, and it's really nice. It has its own little unique quirk about it. And yeah, like you get lots of people who cosplay and come along and really enjoy it. And yeah, Hyper Japan, it's like all about that Japanese culture, and for people who love it or people who want to experience it, they even have a maid cafe and everything, and I got to experience the maid cafe this year, so that was exciting.
So was this your first time going to Hyper Japan, or have you been before?
This was my first time. It was like very new to me. I've been to MCM before, which is the biggest convention based around gaming, anime and manga and comic books in the UK, but this is my first time going to Hyper Japan itself.
Yeah, so what were the idol groups that were at Hyper Japan?
So obviously there were Deadlift Lolita, London Blue and Tokyo Flavor. They were kind of the main three who were from Japan that like people wanted to see. But we also had like Anisong Evolution, and then
so that was like Anisong artists?
Yeah, there was also I think the Six Lie, sorry. Anisong Evolution, they sing covers of anime songs.
Okay.
So like outros and intros and such. So yeah, and they were pretty good actually. So that was nice to see. But yeah, the main three that I went to see were Deadlift Lolita, London Blue, and Tokyo Flavor.
Okay, and was there any other idol related content there? Like were there London based idol groups or idol panels, idol merchandise?
I didn't think there was actually any idol panels that I knew of personally, but you can get them there. Like, I mean, you can sign up for them, and I think it's free to sign up, so I'm pretty sure you can. I know that there was a podcast going to be there, the Old Japan show. They were going to do just like a meet and greet kind of thing and talk about how they'd started the show and everything, and like how they did their podcast and whatnot, but it never happened because it kind of like conflicted with some interviews they did, so they had to like cancel it. But you can also get like London based or British based like idols, girls who like do idol content, like they do like singing songs and everything, and they perform and they dance and everything, just interesting stuff like that.
Yeah, okay, so Deadlift Lolita, London Blue, and Tokyo Flavor. Yeah, what was your initial opinion on the groups before you saw them live? And
Okay.
had you ever seen any of them before? Were you familiar with them?
So I was obviously familiar with Deadlift Lolita and London Blue, but I had no clue about Tokyo Flavor themselves.
I still don't, to be honest, so you can tell me about them.
So obviously Deadlift Lolita's kind of known because it is definitely like one of those groups who have more of a gimmick to them that Westerners will kind of find a little bit appealing and think about, oh, crazy Japan with it. But actually, they're a pretty cool group, and they've got like, you know, their designated theme, which is what you need, I think, when you're an idol group sometimes, especially when there's so many now. Yeah. But obviously everyone is familiar with Ladybeard. So I already had an initial opinion that like I didn't really listen to their music or anything at that point, but I already knew I liked Ladybeard and I liked what he had done before. I didn't really know about Reika, who is his partner in Deadlift Lolita, but I had a feeling she was a sweet girl anyway, and she is, so it's like, but I didn't really have an opinion on their music or anything other than that it was like, it fit their kind of like look and feel overall. Yeah. London Blue, I knew a little bit. I had done a review for them for Jam or Jammy UK or something, Jam UK.
Okay.
I'd done a review for them on another website regarding their album We Are London Blue, and I really enjoyed the album, but I kind of lost like interest in them for a while, and then suddenly I heard they were coming to Hyper Japan, and my interest was renewed, and I was like, yeah. But they had all new members at that point except for one member, and so it was just really interesting to see like them live eventually. But like I was going in with the idea that I wanted to see them the most, which I did.
Hmm.
And then there's Tokyo Flavor, who I have no clue about or had no clue about. I have a little bit more of an idea. They're a smaller group within a bigger group, which is Super Flavor.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Yeah, because I
they
know
are
I
one
know
part of
there's
it.
I know there's other flavor, like there's Kyoto flavor,
Yep.
maybe like there's a few different flavor groups.
I think there's about 4 of them or 3, and they are all different. Like they are based in different parts of um, Japan,
Hmm.
and I think it's kind of similar to like what Sakuragumi and Ultimagumi did, in that they're split up so that they can play in certain parts of Japan,
Yeah.
and then they can come together for one big group or something like that. So it's interesting like how they are, but Tokyo Flavor is 3 young girls who perform together, and like they each have their own individuality on stage, which is really cool. Like they were actually the first idol performance I saw at Hyper Japan, so it was really intriguing to see them and just to watch what they're like on stage. It is always interesting to see what idols are like on stage anyway. But Tokyo Flavor, one of the members, Nina, she doesn't look as excited as the other members, but she's really cute regardless. So
Their concept reminds me, do you know of Clears and the Clears groups?
I know of them, but I don't really know them either.
Well, Clears has the whole gimmick of being like cleaning idols and trying to make Japan clean, but like they have a bunch of different subgroups, I guess, around Japan.
Ah,
Like they have Tokyo Clears Smile. I think they just have normal Tokyo Clears. They have Nagoya Clears. They have Kawagoe Clears. I'm blanking on all of them, but they have a bunch of different ones. But then for their singles, they all combine into like one super group just called Clears. And
oh, that's good.
I think they make like a senbatsu out of the members, or maybe
Oh
they're all in
wow,
them. I'm not sure, but
wow. No, that's good.
so it sort of
See,
reminds me of that.
I can see that actually with the Tokyo one, the Tokyo based branch of Tokyo of Super Flavor, Tokyo Flavor. They have their major debut recently in
Oh,
May,
okay.
so like, I think they're the only one. But I think they did like this idol battle with the other ones, and for it they got a major debut or something.
Huh.
And I think they were also voted to come to Hyper Japan, so that was good.
Let's start by talking about Deadlift Lolita.
Yeah.
First off, let's talk about a little bit more about the group.
Hmm.
So, what would you say like the concept of the group is?
It is kawaii muscle, or muscle kawaii.
Is that what they
Um,
say their concept is?
their concept is pretty much like muscle kawaii,
Yeah.
and being like the most powerful idol unit in Japan, in the world in general. I think like that's
Yeah.
one of their concepts, because they are the most physically strong idol group. That is their whole theme and everything. I think it's a really fun theme actually. And they had 2 lives whilst I was there, but I missed one of them because I wanted to do the meet and greet. So I lined up really early for it and
Uh-huh.
just forewent the second show. Do you want me to talk a little bit about the live itself?
Yeah, so what was the live like?
The live itself, like the live I saw, was definitely more idol oriented, just like a normal, very powerful kind of idol live. They're both really, really amazing. They move so much, and they look so amazing, and they look so happy. And Lady Beard himself, he just seems to have this amazing range in his vocals. He can just switch so quickly, and I'm like so amazed. He could go really, really cute, and then suddenly he's like doing his death metal screams, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh my god. The second live, which I missed, and I'm kind of sad I missed this, was actually more catered to like what their lives are sometimes like. But they had a wrestler come in halfway through performance to start fighting them. But no, like fans really enjoyed it. But there was a part in the first performance where they were getting ready for their meet and greet, and they said, "Okay, we've only got one more song. We're gonna clear up backstage because we're really sweaty right now, and then we're gonna go to meet and greet." And someone yelled, "Keep the sweat!" And Reika went, "Oh, keep the sweat!" And then she just like touched her face and started pretending to fling sweat to the fans. It was hilarious. They've got such big personalities, and they're so amazing. They're so amazing, and they're so dedicated to their fans. It's really amazing.
So I heard the queues for them were really crazy.
Oh gosh, yeah, both queues. They had to split the queue on the Friday in like I think in half or something like that. They really had to split it, and it annoyed a lot of fans because it was so long and it just took a long time for them to get everyone through. And then the second day when the meet and greet went, they said we're going to have to be really quick with this because like we've been told that we just need to get it over and done with. And they did have a certain amount for the line again, I think. And it just, I think, it kind of annoyed fans, but I understand it from their perspective. They needed to get things done. Like the one for Friday, it was the end of the night and it was coming to the end of the event as well. So there wasn't a lot of time before it shut down. And they had to get everyone out by 8 p.m.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was already evening at that point, and they had to they had to cut it down. I did get to meet them on that one, and I hugged them and everything, but I didn't get a picture with them, which is what I'd wanted, which is why I lined up the next day as the second person in line with some other people. They were the same as they were, like, we want to be here right now. And it was so like manic, and they were very long for them. They were yeah, just manic for everyone involved, I think.
So did everyone get to meet them, or were there a lot of people who didn't even get to meet them?
There were some people who didn't get to meet them, but they hung back, I think, and quick got a picture in with them, like just before they had to leave for like whatever they had going on.
So what was it like meeting them? So first off, you interviewed them, right?
Yes.
Okay, so first let's talk about like before the interview. So what was it
Okay.
like meeting them and getting a picture with them? And you said
Well,
you didn't get much time, right?
well, in the first one, I didn't get a picture of them, and my interview was actually right after that meet and greet on the Friday, and I went up to them, and the interviewer was like, "Oh, look, you've got a little flower crown. You look amazing." And then he was like, "Oh, your press. Oh, we'll be talking to you later." And Rake was really sweet, and they were both really amazing and really nice. And then I waited a period of time, obviously, for the interview. The line was so long though, but they were like, "It's still going to go as planned. We'll still do the interview kind of thing. Don't worry. Just you got to wait out the meet and greet," which I'm fine with. It gave me time to prepare, and that was my second interview of the day. So the first was Tokyo Flavor, and then it was Lady Beard. Now, I was so happy to have the Deadlift Lolita interview afterwards because obviously Lady Beard himself, he is English, so he'll understand me more and my humour and whatnot, or whatever I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he translates for Reika as well, so that really just helped a lot more in my nerves. And he's a very relaxing person, actually. Like, he makes you feel so relaxed and so calm, and he doesn't put pressure on you, and he just makes you feel at ease, and it was so nice.
Yeah, everything I've heard about him is so good. Like, everyone who's met him or had any experiences with him talk about how nice he is.
Yeah, no, he's really sweet. It's like, I wanted to cry because I'd met him, because I do idolize him to a degree. Like, I think he's such an amazing person for doing what he's done, and for like being who he is and showcasing his passion to the world. And I think I told him as much in the interview, but he's such an easygoing guy, and he's really nice to be with. And so is Reika. Reika is really sweet. She's so honest. Like, she kind of wears her heart on her sleeve in that sense. Everything, like, she portrays, like, you see it in her eyes and everything, the passion she has and the love and how excited she is. It's just really nice. And it was just really nice chatting to them and getting to know, like, more about them, and to interview them, and to just, just be there across from them. It feels really surreal now. I'm kind of like, did this happen?
Yeah, so can you tell us a little bit more about the interview? What was it like interviewing them?
Well, we went to their changing room for it because it was so late as well.
Really?
Anyway, yeah. Just like the interview process itself was very easy. Like I had my questions and everything, and they asked me who I was doing it for, and it was for Selective Hearing, which is the other like website I write for, which I've been a part of for nearly 6 years now. And we just talked a lot about like kind of things like what got them into like wrestling and such, and idol stuff and whatnot, and just little things like that. I'm trying to remember all the questions off of the top of my head now. But I gave them sweets as well. Like I tried to prepare for the groups that I was interviewing, like something to give them. Tokyo Flavor were the only ones I didn't give anything because their interview, I didn't know I was interviewing them until the day before.
Oh wow.
Because I'd asked for someone else and then I got Tokyo Flavor instead, which I don't mind, but it changed a lot. But I gave them some sweets, and Lady B had asked me what a certain sweet was. We have these things called flying saucers in the UK, and they're like basically a wafer or kind of a sugar paper with sherbet in the middle, and they just melt on your mouth. And he asked me what those were, and he was like, "Oh, that's really interesting. I can't wait to try these." And then he was like, "Oh, you've added cola bottles. I'm so happy. I love cola bottles." I was like, "Yay! At least I've done something right." But no, it was just a lot of like very kind of, it felt so casual, which is the nice thing, and I really enjoyed that. And he was super sweet, and he was just very patient, and he explained everything to Reika. And then I asked him one question towards the end that like Greg, who is the owner of Selective Hearing, had said I should ask them, and he had meant it as a joke, and I knew he meant it as a joke, but I decided to say it anyway. I asked them, "Do you even lift?" And obviously, like he said, it's probably going to go over Reika's head.
Yeah.
But Lady Beard just laughed, and he was just like, "Oh, that cheeky monkey." It's just things like that, and it was just so casual and funny. And I wasn't even going to ask that question, and I thought, no, actually, because of how this is going, I will ask it. And he was like, "Tell him to swim here, get him swimming." And I was like, oh dear. But it was so nice.
So on to London Blue now. So can you tell us a little bit about London Blue's concept?
Okay, so London Blue are a cool and cute idol group who really love the UK. Their kind of image and their sound is based on the UK itself. So they're inspired by music like from the Beatles and everything like that. They're inspired by UK pop and rock as well as J-pop as well. You get like you can hear the influences in their music, and it's really nice. And their opening for their concerts is God Save the Queen. It is the instrumental to God Save the Queen, and it opened at the concert with that, and I expected it, but the person next to me, they'd never seen London Blue or anything, and he was next to me, and he burst out laughing. He was just so entertained by it. He was like, oh my day, he was like, this is perfect, and he just thought it was absolutely hilarious, which I actually get, because even though I expected it, if you don't expect it, it is probably the most hilarious thing for a Japanese idol group to open with the British well, I'm not going to sing it, but the God Save the Queen theme.
I saw them in Japan once, just kind of, I was there for a different group, and it was like a big idol festival, and so I was like killing time until the group I liked was on, so I just kind of randomly checked out London Blue. And so, yeah, I was kind of surprised when that started playing. And I saw them in, like, mid to late 2016, so this was, like, there would have been totally different members.
Yes.
And there weren't many people watching them. They had a couple really hardcore fans, but it was pretty empty. But they still put on a really awesome live. Their songs are really fun, and they got everyone really into it. So tell us about the live.
Okay. So just as you were talking about that, I'm dancing here in my chair like right now because I'm just so excited because it's London Blue. Their live was awesome. I loved it. They had a fan who had come all the way from Japan following them to do the Hyper Japan Live. So that was really nice to see as well. And he was at the front with his London Blue muffler towel. I wish I'd gotten one. I didn't. They sold out before I could get any. They didn't bring many, mind.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really good. And they got, like, even though it was kind of a smallish crowd, they got a biggish crowd, actually, of people watching them. I was one of a few girls watching them, mind. They were mostly men.
Yeah.
So, but I was at the front, and I was so excited. And their live was just amazing. Kana, who is the leader of the group, she's been in the group since 2014.
Okay.
And she's a third generation member. And she's really good at lives. Like, she gives you eye contact and she waves, and she waved to me, and like I was like, ah! I had this rush, and it was amazing to see them live. But they played some songs that I knew, like they played Midnight Lover and they played Angie, but the first song they opened with was London Calling, which is their major debut single song, their major debut A-side,
Mm-hmm.
that releases in September. And they are going to be a part of King Records.
It's crazy they're getting a major debut.
I know. I think a lot of people are surprised because they're not that well known, or as you've noted, they don't have that many fans. Apparently it's the same now. They don't have as many people watching them, I think. I think King Records have picked them up because they see the potential more than anything. That's what I'm hoping.
Mm-hmm.
But I really enjoyed everything they did. They're really energetic. They're a little bit clumsy, but that's most idol groups, actually. And they're really just really sweet and very smiley and very good on stage, I think. And they sound amazing as well, actually. And they had just debuted like in Japan with 3 new members, who are Kyoka, Rina, and Rinka. And only Rinka and Kyoka could come. Rina had schedule conflicts, so they only came as 4 members: Kana, Kayano, Kyoka, and Rinka. But they were amazing regardless. They all sounded great, and they really tried hard at speaking to us in English, like in their introductions.
Mm-hmm.
They had made lovely colourful signs as well, and they were smiling, and they introduced themselves. They gave their member colours and everything so that we knew what to wave if we needed to wave anything. And
That's cute.
They just did, like, and I was waving yellow for Kayano, and then I waved red for Kana as well, and I've really come out loving Kana through this, actually. But they had a really amazing live, so yeah.
Did a lot of people have like king blades or glow sticks or anything like that?
Not many, actually. I was one of a few, and actually someone pointed out when I was like there at Hyper and they were like, where did you get those? And I was like, I brought them with me, and they were like, oh my god, I can't find them anywhere. So I had to, like, I bought my pen light from Amazon, and then I've got a Morning Musume 1-4 King Blade that I got on Twitter recently.
My friend, she goes to all kinds of idol lives in Japan. Half she's been on this podcast before, and she still just uses her Denpagumi King Blade and everything. Like,
Yeah.
She's been going to Japan for years, but she still just uses her Denpagumi one.
I'll use the Morning Musume 1-4 until I die, I'm sure.
So what were their lines like? Were there a lot of people who wanted to see them after the live?
Actually, their manager, I think it was, tweeted about it, about how they were really surprised by the line. With London Blue themselves, they were like, whoa, because I don't think London Blue get a lot of people going to their checkies anyway when it happens, because again, I don't think they're that big in Japan anyway. Yeah. So, like, they were surprised themselves, but because it was quite a long line on the Saturday itself, they had to cut it short a bit and make it so that there were 2 members per person to do the checky with. Originally, I think it was going to be solo shots kind of thing. I wish I'd done the solo shots or a group shot with them all, but I did checkies with them 2 at a time, which I'm fine with as well. Like, it was really nice. But as we were waiting in line, 2 of the members, Kana and Kayano, who are the 2 senior members in the group right now, they were giving out business cards. So that was really nice. I've never had that happen before, and despite being to only a few idol lives, none of them have given business cards, but Kayano and Kana did, so I'm guessing that the other 3 members also have business cards, but they didn't bring them. So that was really nice, actually. It was a nice little bit, like, addition to it, and it was nice that the members were given them personally as well. That was really sweet.
Yeah, so you said that there's 5 members, but 1 couldn't make it, right?
Yeah.
And what's her name again? Rena?
Rena. Mm-hmm.
I remember, because the new members just debuted, so I looked them up to write about them, and Rena sounded really interesting. Like, she listed some of her skills and hobbies as, like, doing laundry and and cleaning, and I remember she just had a bunch of, like, really random hobbies and skills, and I was just thinking, this person sounds really fun to meet, so it's a shame she couldn't come, but...
I'm really sad, because I would have loved to have met her, honestly. Like, I was actually really excited to meet her.
She's really pretty, too.
Anything. Yeah, exactly. Like, how I like idols, I tend to base it off of looks first thing.
Yeah,
like,
I think
like
a lot of
most
us
people.
do. I do too.
So it's like, she was the one I was like, yes! Like, Kana was the person I kind of thought, yeah, but after seeing Kana live, I love her. Like, she's amazing. But, yeah.
Yeah, so, what was it like meeting them? So, you said you got a checky with 2 of them.
I got a checky with all 4 of them. I just did it 2 separate times.
Oh, okay, yeah. So what was that like?
It was really nice. They're really excited, a really excited bunch. Kyoka herself claims herself to be the most energetic member out of them all. And she really is, actually. She's a ball of energy. She is sunshine personified. But they're all really, really nice, and they're very complimentary, I think, like most idols and everything, and they were just really nice and sweet and very lovely. They have a nice, they do the L pose as a part of, like, their checky and everything, which is for London. Not like, it's kind of like the loser sign, but they hold it at an angle, and it's for London, and it's like a tick in a way, and it's really nice. I love it.
So, you also interviewed London Blue.
Yes.
So, what was that like?
They were my last interview. And, okay, so my Tokyo Flavor interview flopped, and you'll find out why.
Okay.
So I really prepared for this one because I really liked London Blue beforehand, and I just wanted to try and make it go as smoothly as possible. So I had to get the help of all my friends to help me translate all my questions into Japanese. And I had to get it all done in Romaji as well, because I don't know any symbols or anything in Japanese.
Okay, so you didn't have anyone helping you with this interview.
Oh, I had my friends help me to translate it all, but I had someone who could help to try and translate it with me if I got stuck.
Mm-hmm.
But my friends helped to translate everything for me into Romaji so that I could just speak it to them in complete Japanese, just to make it more beneficial for them.
Yeah, so you didn't, it wasn't the type of thing where, like, you said it in English and you had, like, a translator, like, interpreter there to, like,
I did it
say
all.
it to them. Yeah.
I did it all after that. I spoke it. Like, luckily, I can pronounce stuff pretty easily in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
So, as long as it's in Romaji, I'm okay. But, yeah, I spoke it. I said everything in Japanese. And I told them beforehand, like, I don't really speak or understand Japanese, but I'm going to do it all in Japanese instead of English. Now, their interview with me was just after the Checky event. So I was waiting for them, and I was really hyped, and I was getting really nervous, and then I saw them come through, and I was like, oh no, and I had to turn around, and I was like, have to have a breather. And then they all came downstairs, and they went, oh, you were at the Checky! And they all ran to me, and we got really excited, and Kyoka started jumping up and down, holding my hands, and they all came and jumped up and down with me and hugged me, and we're just like, I was so excited, and they were so sweet. They were just all hugging me and holding my hands, and we were so happy. Like, but they'd recognized me from the Checky, obviously, and that was so nice, and they were just, like, they seemed really excited to see me, and that made me happy, and they just were really friendly. And then I told them I'd do the interview in Japanese, and they seemed really excited by that as well. But also I think it did help them a lot as well. So, And then we did it all. There was only one question where I actually got stuck with trying to explain it to them. But luckily I'd done one extra question anyway to add in. I'd done 11 questions when typically I do 10.
Mm-hmm.
So that worked in my favour, actually.
So you just kind of skipped the one question?
Well, we talked about it. I wanted to ask them like what their new single was about, and they thought I was asking about the point of a choreographer or something. They talked about towels and stuff, which actually I might throw that into my written interview once my friends have helped translate it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really nice. And it went really smoothly because I'd done it in Japanese. They were really excited and talking really excitedly and nicely and energetically, and it was really nice. And I got to take a picture with them again, and I gave them presents. I gave them sweets from England again. Like, that's something that I want to keep doing. I think if I meet idols, I want to give them sweets from the UK, because like there is something we're known for here other than tea, and it is our candy, essentially.
Yeah,
like,
it'll always go over well, I guarantee.
Yeah, because we have like different types of candy, like America does and everywhere else, but like we used to have ye olde sweet shops, so I like to kind of throw in stuff which is like really old-fashioned kind of British candy or really popular British candy.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave them my business card as well, and they seemed impressed by that, which I was surprised by, but it went smoothly. And I think me doing Tokyo Flavor and Ladybeard before them really helped me, but also staying up until 2 a.m. to translate everything
Oh, God,
helped so much. I was so tired, but it was so exciting, and they were so nice, and they told me they loved me for some reason. I don't know why. But they were so sweet. Yeah, well, they fished me in, okay, so, like, I love them so much. They are so, so sweet, and I'm just so sad I didn't get, like, a towel from them either, and their t-shirts were really expensive, that's the thing, that's why I didn't buy one.
How expensive were they?
They were £30, $36 to $40.
Yeah, that's pretty expensive.
So it's quite expensive.
It's not, like, out of the realm of possibility for, like, underground idol t-shirts. Like, I've seen some that were like $50.
Yeah,
but
they're 3,000.
It's still expensive.
Regardless, I'm really happy I got to meet them. I got their business cards, at least 2 of them, and they got their presents, which was nice. I gave them a present for Rena as well, because like I didn't want her to feel left out, and I asked a question about Rena actually as well. I asked them, what are you going to bring back for Rena? And they were like, oh, we're going to take pictures and show her. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, okay, that's cool, that's fine. But one of their things that they said they really like about the UK, they really love our architecture.
Huh.
They were like, the buildings are beautiful here. Like, they really tried actually to speak in English at parts, which really impressed me as a person, like as an interviewer. It made me think they really try, and they really want to showcase to me like everything like that they're feeling or that they enjoyed here in English.
Yeah.
Even though it's not like a language they really actually know. So that was nice.
Okay, so anything else about London Blue?
Oh, I love them. They fished me so hard. They're such a good group. Let's just say, like, honestly, I was talking to one fan who is also my friend, and he didn't care for the live too much. Mm-hmm. He doesn't think too much of them, I think. But, like, I really loved it. But everyone individually enjoys something differently. But I think they impressed a few people who were there. I mean, they got a few people at the meet and greet, which made them happy. And then, obviously, like, I got to see them outside of that, and I got to interview them, and we talked a lot. And it was so nice. It was so good. And, you know, our goodbyes were actually kind of lengthy because we were just so excited. Yeah. But they are really energetic and sweet girls, in my opinion.
Okay, so on to the last group, Tokyo Flavor.
Oh dear. Okay.
Okay, so first, you explained a little bit about their concept, but can you tell us about them one more time?
Okay, so Tokyo Flavor, they're obviously a smaller group, a smaller branch within a bigger branch, which is Super Flavor. Mm-hmm. And these 3 girls are made up of Eureka. Oh gosh, I've forgotten.
I'll link all their stuff down in the description. So
then there's Mairi, and then there's Nina. Now Nina seems to have 2 names. She seems to be Aoi, but she came as Nina. Whether she thought it was easy to pronounce for us or not, or something like that, I don't know. Or she's recently changed it. but she went with Nina. Now, they actually had some merch to sell, like Deadlift Lolita as well did, and I bought some of their merch. I bought their CD, their major debut CD, which is Alice, and some of their badges, and then also their muffler towel and a picture of them. And they're really cute. They have like a really cute concept and everything, and they're really sweet and nice and really just cute idols. And they had a decent checky line as well, actually.
So you said that Deadlift Lolita and Tokyo Flavor brought merch. Did London Blue not really bring any merch besides the t-shirts?
They brought t-shirts and muffler towels, but they didn't have that many muffler towels, so yeah, that's it though for London Blue. I don't think they really expected anyone to come.
I guess they were surprised.
Yes, they were, I think. So that's good.
Yeah, so about Tokyo Flavor, what was their live like?
Their live was fun and energetic. There were people who went there, like, I had to run there to go see them, and I was like, yay! They were really cute and energetic, and just, they're not the best singers. They're actually kind of like really subpar, but they are charming girls, and they had a really nice, fun little live going on, I think, actually. And I had an enjoyable time, like, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's the most memorable live I've ever been to, per se, but I liked it enough that I bought their CD. So there is that, actually. It was nice, and they had a few people watching, and then the same people went to the Checky to do the meet and greet and everything, and to do, like, you know, get Checkies with certain members. I think I got one with all of them, and then I got one with Mayumi, and that was nice. Mayumi's the member I like the most. She's the tallest as well.
So you said that London Blue actually sounded pretty good, right? So you would say, like, the members were good singers?
I think they're decent singers, actually. Like, I won't say they're the best singers ever, but I think they're decent singers. They're better than Tokyo Flavor.
Yeah, Tokyo Flavor not so much?
Not so much, but I don't care if they can sing or not. I'm actually kind of happy if they're just idols that I enjoy.
Yeah, me too.
And they can't sing. I mean, I love Ikita Erina, for crying out loud, and she can't sing.
Yeah. So you said you got a unit Checky and then a Checky with Mayumi, right?
Yeah.
So what was that like?
Oh, it was nice. I was happy to do it. Like, they actually had a list of what you could do in terms of a Checkies. You could use your phone, or you could get a Polaroid Checky kind of thing. So it was nice that they actually had the list out. I think they were the only ones who had a merch list that they'd made up for us in full English as well. So that really helped. Like, they were one of the more prepared groups, actually. So that just worked in our favour. It was really good.
And the girls were nice?
Yeah, they were really sweet. Like, Nina, she's kind of like the more kind of like reserved one in terms of how she looks, how she like uses her facial features. But once you actually see her up front, she gives a lot more expression. But when I went to do Checky with all of them, Nina was like, press! And because she saw my press badge, so it was just like, and then they all seemed like really surprised by it. So that was really nice. So, but they noticed that, and they were just really sweet, and like, you know, they did their fishing. They said, "Oh, so cute," kind of thing, and whatnot, and just really, really sweet, obviously, and polite as idols tend to be. But they were nice regardless. I really enjoyed it. I'm really easy to fish though, so so anything they do, I'd be happy with.
Okay, so a little bit more about like the meet and greets and stuff. So London Blue and Tokyo Flavor both did Checkies, right?
Yes.
Did Deadlift Lolita do Checkies, or did they do like phone pictures?
Just phone pictures for Deadlift Lolita.
Okay, did either London Blue or Tokyo Flavor sign them, or were they unsigned?
London Blue didn't do the sign-ins, but if you did an individual Checky with a member, you got, for Tokyo Flavor, you got a signed picture.
Oh, that's cool. So did they like write your name on it and stuff, or just the date?
Oh, I don't know, actually. I'd have to see it. I think they wrote the date. I don't know if Miami wrote my name on it. I would have done an individual with all of them, actually, if I could have, but no.
But there wasn't enough time?
There wasn't enough time, and I didn't have enough money, so...
So how much did it cost to meet all of them? So, like, how much was it for each group?
So the meet and greets don't really cost anything. It's obviously the individual Checkies that, like, a little bit more. Like for Tokyo Flavor, it's £5 per person, but £10 for the group checky, so knocks £5 off. For London Blue, for London Blue, it was £10 per 2-person checky.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that if they'd have done it individual, it would have been £5 per person checky.
Yeah, I don't know if they usually do $5 or $10 or 500 yen or 1,000 yen checkies in Japan, but most groups do 1,000 yen, so I'd assume that's it.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to do the checkies. That was what I wanted to do. Like, I would have spent so much money on checkies with London Blue if I could have, honestly.
So could you line up and just like get a handshake with them for free?
With Deadlift Lolita, you could. It was the same with Anison Evolution. Anison Evolution did. They just did a like free meet and greet. The only thing you had to buy was their CD, but like actually talking to them and taking a picture of them was completely free. Mm-hmm. Deadlift Lolita, it was you could get a free picture of them if you bought something.
Okay.
So you had to buy something. So I got a poster and a towel from their stand just when I wanted a picture of him, but I already had a picture of him after the interview, so.
But you said you could line up and just like meet them for free?
Yeah,
you didn't have to buy anything?
Yeah, just hug and meet them for free, yeah. They were happy to do that, so.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Like, I don't think London Blue really had that option, so, but that's okay.
And Tokyo Flavor didn't either?
Tokyo Flavor, I know they didn't have the option either, actually. So I think you could talk to them for free, and that was it, and do a handshake and then go. But I think most people opted for a checky with them at least.
Yeah. So how did the Tokyo Flavor lines compare to like London Blue and Deadlift Lolita?
Okay, so Deadlift Lolita was crazy.
Yeah.
Let's just put it right. I think Tokyo Flavor and London Blue had about the same amount. Okay. In a way. Like, they had a good amount of people. I think they probably had, like, yeah, they had a decent amount. And there were probably some people who looped it, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get the impression their groups are kind of, like, the same size in Japan. Like, yeah. Both are very underground. Like, they have some core fans, but they're pretty unknown.
Yeah, despite being major, they're fairly unknown.
Yeah, so did they just go major?
So London Blue go major in September. Mm-hmm. Or they're probably major now. They're promoting their song and everything. Yeah. But their major debut single release is September 5th this year. Tokyo Flavor very recently majorly debuted in May. So.
Do you know who they debuted with? Because you said London Blue was with King Records.
I don't know for Tokyo Flavor, so I'm going to just check it now. I bought their CD anyway, so because their song Alice is actually pretty cool. Like, it's got a really nice opening to it. Like, Nina, who is the center member, she does like this kind of thing where it's like she's orchestrating puppets.
Oh, anyway, that's cool.
They're with Crown Takuma.
Huh. Okay.
So I don't know who Crown Takuma is, unless Takuma.
I'm guessing it's like off Crown Records, which is like a somewhat big record label, I think.
Yeah, most likely. Well, Bandmade are with Crown Takuma.
Oh, okay.
So they've got things like Perfume and Bandmade. Oh
got
wait,
some big names.
Probably Old Perfume, not this Perfume, but Old Perfume.
Yeah.
But Bandmade are with them at least. So. BIS Second are apparently with them, so yeah, they've got a few like different groups of them. Crown Takuma.
Okay, so you made it sound like meeting them was good, but you said the interview didn't go so well, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, I hate myself so much. Right. Okay. So this was my first interview. Mm-hmm. And it's my first actual proper full interview as well that I've done with a group. And I knew that something would screw up because nothing goes right at your first interview. You're not prepared fully.
Yeah.
You think you are, but you're not. Mentally, I was prepared. But I found out, and I'd been talking to my friend, and they said, don't worry, there will be translators on site. The interviewers.
No.
This year they didn't include translators. They have in the past, but Hyper Japan didn't this year. So there was that. So they got someone for me who is on the Hyper Japan team who was able to translate.
Mm-hmm.
So I was lucky in that aspect. And then it went well. And they were like, they saw me and they came down and they were like, you were at the Checky kind of thing. And they seemed surprised that someone who'd been at the Checky came to their interview. It was the same with London Blue. Really, like, surprised that someone from the Checky who'd been watching them and everything had come over as well to do their interview. So we started the interview and there was a little... But I was very shy and reserved because I wasn't able to do the questions as I had anticipated. So I got really shy and everything, and I can get a bit reserved sometimes. I'm really confident, mind, in real life, but also I don't think people realise how shy I can be as well. Like, you see me do my videos and everything and my blogs, and I come across as this really kind of exuberant person who can, like, who really is happy-go-lucky and probably feels like they can do no wrong. But, like, inside, like, I was crying. And I think it showed on my face a lot. I put my head down a lot during that interview. I just wasn't, like, doing what I thought I could have been doing. I wasn't doing as well as I wanted to, and that really screwed up my mentality a lot. The translator helped a lot, but he also didn't translate the answers for me. I mean, he didn't translate the answers for me. But that didn't matter to me. I don't mind because I can get a friend to help me maybe if they want to help me translate. And then I accidentally deleted my recording.
Oh, no.
So I came out of that and I was absolutely in despair. And I hadn't used my phone as a backup, which I should have done. I didn't think. And I told Greg, who does own Selective Hearing, and he said next time just use your phone as a backup and just email them the questions if you can. I asked, do you want me to email the questions? And I'm just waiting for a translation of it. So we're going to email them the questions and everything. But I came out so happy, and then I was deflated because I found out I had deleted my recording.
Yeah.
So I was... I'm looking back on it and I'm kind of laughing, but I'm still really mad at myself about it. It can't be helped. It happened. I knew something would go drastically wrong, but the girls were so sweet, and I asked them a question where if they wanted to, like, go anywhere else in the world and perform, and they've said Italy. They'd really like to go to Italy, but they did a really big world tour this year. They did Thailand, they did China, I think, as well. They've done France, and then they've come here to the UK. So they've done a big world tour this year for a group that's not that well known.
Yeah. So, for the interview, did you just show up and realize that there was no, like, translator, interpreter, and then they found someone? Like, how did that work?
Okay, so I went to go prepare for it 10 minutes before, and I asked, is there a translator? And they're like, why are all your questions in English? Are they yes/no answers? And I was like, no, they're kind of in depth. And they were like, oh, okay. So they had to go find someone, and then we did it.
Yeah, well, it's good they could find someone.
Yeah, I was glad. And then the same guy hung around the next day for London Blue, but I didn't need him at all. It was okay.
Because, yeah, you'd already translated all those questions.
Yeah, he was just like, that's actually really going to help them as well. So he's like, well done.
So, anything else about Tokyo Flavor?
Oh, they're a really sweet group, honestly. It's just I did a big hiccup in it. I had a big hiccup, and it can't be helped, but they were a fun group. They're really fun to see live as well. They're really, like, just enjoyable to see, and, like, even if they can't sing that well, I think they're a good group to, like, watch out for, especially if you like idols who don't sing really well. Like, there are some people who really love that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it just, I think they're a good group. And I think people should check them out at least, like, and their music is fun, so.
I'm also not sure about this, but, I'm pretty sure Kyoto Flavor streams on Showroom a lot, so Tokyo Flavor might too.
They do stream a little bit. Like, when I was checking them out, when I had to do research for them the night before, when I got the confirmation that they were the one I was doing, and I was like, oh, I don't know who they are. I was doing a whole night of, like, research and everything. They did some showroom lives, I think, so I don't know how active they are on it, but they had some showroom live details up.
Okay, so that might be a good way to get to know them.
Exactly. So if you do watch Showroom, definitely check them out. Like, Showroom is a great way to actually get to know idols, and it's probably like how most of their fans get to know them.
Yeah, especially underground groups as a foreigner.
Yes, exactly.
So about the three groups, were there any like fans from England or fans from other places around Europe that were like really hardcore fans of? I'm assuming Deadlift Lolita probably had some.
Yeah. So there were a few groups. There was one live solo singer, Yukika, who is a YouTuber.
Huh?
Now she has a lot of dedicated UK fans.
Really?
They pretty much campaigned for her to get to the UK to do Hyper Japan, and when she did sign up to it, she did a Kickstarter or a crowdfund to like get money to help her to get to England, and a lot of her fans did it for her.
Mm-hmm.
And they went to Hyper Japan to see her, and they made her T-shirts and everything. I think she was the one who had like the most like UK backers and support from the fans. They just
Yeah.
really, really wanted to see
So
her.
she's just like a YouTuber and singer, or like is she an idol or was an idol?
I think she's 100% self-produced.
Mm-hmm.
She is a YouTube singer and songwriter. She does her own music and everything, and she's got a really cute personality. I didn't get to see her or meet her at all because I was really late to Hyper Japan. Like, my train got in and everything, and I had to kind of rush and find it because I'm not London based or anything. I don't know London. This was my first time in London alone, so I had to rush trying to find the centre and everything and the right trains and whatnot, and so I missed everything. And when it was her meet and greet, Tokyo Flavor came on, so I had to rush away from that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really wanted to meet her mind, but she does radio as well, but I think she is pretty much backing herself 100%. But she had her fans help her get out there, and I think that really made her happy to know that she had this support in the UK from a good number of people, a good number of men, let's say, because I don't think any women backed it at all. Let's be real. But no, she had some really dedicated fans, and I talked to one of the fans a lot, and he really liked Kiko, and he got to interview her as well.
Oh, cool.
So that was really nice, and he adores her. He thinks the world of her, I think, as an idol, or artist, and so it was really nice to see that. But Deadlift Lolita definitely had the support. London Blue, I don't think they had any fans from the UK itself, other than me. Probably. Like, I was one of the only ones who did know of them, but a lot of people who came to London Blues Live were kind of like, oh, are they a London-based idol group?
Yeah.
Are they English? And I was like, no, they're Japanese. They were like, what? I was like, they are a Japanese-based group who love London. It's like, they're not from London. They were like, but they've got London in them. I was like, I know, but that because they love London. I had to explain it, like, so they're not from London. I was like, no!
Yeah, I think that probably was confusing for a lot of people.
They were like, so they're not Japanese girls living in London? And they were like, I was like, no. So that one was confusing, but oh well.
I have a friend who lives in England, Jewel, probably some people listening know him. And he was like a really big fan of a particular girl in the group, Misaki.
Ah, yes.
And he saw her a bunch, like in Japan, like went to her birthday lives and stuff, but she graduated.
He went in his Misaki shirt. Yeah, I knew he had known of them. I just didn't know he had been a fan of them. I knew he'd been a fan of Misaki.
Yeah, basically just Misaki, like.
But yeah,
he liked the lives.
Like, oh, good, I'm glad, because I don't think he cared for this one too much. But we talked about it afterwards and everything, and they asked, and he and his friend asked what Tokyo Flavor were like, and I was like, oh, they're kind of bad singers, and they were like, oh yeah, and his friend was like, oh, I'll definitely like them then. So, but yeah, no, he's a really great guy, and he was the only other one there other than me, I think. I don't know if anyone else knew who London Blue was, but of the people I knew there, he was the only one who knew about London Blue. Like, my friend Adam, who interviewed them as well, he interviewed Yukika and Deadlift Lolita as well. And he's big on Deadlift Lolita, and he's also big on Yukika. he didn't know anything about London Blue, and I had some files of their song, so I was like, he had listened to them, like, because he had only heard Rock Me Shock Me and he wasn't like overly entertained by it, and I was like, there's a lot better songs, and he fell in love with Angie, which is a great song by them, and so he only vaguely knew about them, but again, I think me and Jewel were the only two who really properly knew. So that worked.
So what about Tokyo Flavor? Did they have anyone who knew them or were fans of them?
I don't think so. I don't honestly think so. Like,
was anyone converted? Like after the live, was anyone like, oh my god, Tokyo Flavor's amazing?
Other than me, I don't know actually. I didn't really talk to people at this one. I just kind of kept to myself and the people I knew. Like the only time I talked to people I didn't know really from online or offline were two individuals, a married couple who are really into Deadlift Lolita. So, and they were really nice and they really loved Deadlift Lolita. They found out about them through Lady Baby, and it went from there, and they like Lady Beard and everything.
And you said that a Japanese London Blue fan came, right?
Yeah, it was so good.
Was he like leading things?
No, he was doing the calls, so I got to follow the calls through him, which really made me happy. He knew the calls, obviously, like he knew their nicknames and everything, and like he was waving the banner and everything, and I was waving my pen lights. There was someone else waving pen lights as well. They just waved blue for London Blue, so that
works. So were people doing the calls for Tokyo Flavor then?
No, I don't think anyone knew the calls for Tokyo Flavor, so...
Were people doing, like, you know, standard mixes, like, Taiga, Fire, like, that kind of...
No.
Or just nothing? Oh, that's kind of sad.
It's different. The crowd is different. That said, I think Tokyo Flavor were surprised by the crowd, like, and I think... no, it was Reika from Deadlift Lolita. She was surprised by the crowds in England, actually. She expected us to be very gentlemanly and, like, oh, top of the morning to you kind of thing. That's Irish, sorry. Wrong guy. No, she thought we'd be very quiet and respectful about our lives. She was really surprised by how aggressive we could be. But I think that's what surprised most of them, like how we can be at lives as well. So I'm hoping that Tokyo Flavor, I hope it impressed them. I think their Sunday live was their Saturday live was a little bit more energetic because more people came on the Saturday, because Hyper Japan is 3 days. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Friday a lot of people are still at work and at school.
Yeah.
So it's a lot quieter, and on the Saturday people have a day off, so it's a lot more vibrant and such. So I have a feeling their Saturday live was a lot better, the one I couldn't get to.
So, of the three groups, which live did you think was the best, and which group did you have the best time meeting?
Oh dear. Okay, this is difficult. Personally, I really enjoyed London Blues live the most. That's personal. I think in terms of response, it was Deadlift Lolita. They had probably the best response.
Yeah.
Of the ones I went to. Meeting them, I think it was London Blue. Maybe it's because it was the last interview I did, but I'm going to say London Blue and Deadlift Lolita were a tie.
Okay.
But I feel like I had such a good time with both of them. They were both really relaxed and really enjoyable, but I also understand that Tokyo Flavor, I really didn't know a lot about them, and I went into the interview and, like, it screwed up. But it happens. But they were so nice as well. Like, they were all amazing, don't get me wrong. But Deadlift Lolita and London Blue, my favourites so far.
So overall, how would you say your Hyper Japan experience was?
There were hiccups. Not just with my interview, but with other things. I think it was good though. I enjoyed it, and I want to do it again in the winter when they bring more groups and such. I'm hoping that we can get more groups and I can do more interviews.
Yeah.
It's good practice for me, and also it's good content. And it just makes me love idols more, and it makes me want to be an idol reporter for some reason. But I enjoy it.
Do you have any advice for Hyper Japan staff on how they can make the event even better in the winter or next year?
Just be more organised, I guess. There were a lot of pissed off people, honestly. Like, in terms of just various different things, people just felt it was a bit more chaotic than it has ever been. But it was a new venue. Usually they're at a place called the Tobacco Dock, but now they're in a place called Olympia, London Olympia Stadium. And that place is not open like Tobacco Dock is. So Tobacco Dock, in the summer it's really too hot because it's open air, but in the winter it's really too cold because it's open air. The Olympia Stadium is closed, so it's just a normal kind of convention room. So it can be hot and cold kind of thing. I guess it depends on how many people are there. So, like, they're still figuring out the venue, so I think it just kind of was a little more chaotic than it could have been. But apparently they have issues every year. But definitely translators, I think they need to get that back on board, just like for the sake of people. Like, there were a lot of people who went into it who couldn't speak a lick of Japanese that are interested in idols, that went into the interviews, and it just kind of failed completely for them because they couldn't be translated, or things weren't translated for them, or things got lost in communication. The good thing about Deadlift Lolita is Ladybeard himself is Australian, so he understands English.
Yeah.
And so he can also translate for Reika, so it works in that way, and he translates for Reika as well. So he gives Reika's perspective and everything. But for those that can't, like London Blue and Yukika and Anisan Evolution, etc., it's like it's difficult. So they definitely need the translators back, I think, if
So
they
did
can.
did they have any translators for like MCs and things like that? Or
Yes.
They did. Okay.
Yes. Well, not for main MCs or anything. Like, the MC that they did have, he came on and he spoke to him in Japanese, but I don't think he really translated it for anyone or anything like that. It was kind of difficult. They had their unorganised moments, and then they had their kind of organised moments. It was fun regardless. I can't fault it for being fun, and I would go again, but I definitely saw that people were annoyed.
I heard that like I don't know about Deadlift Lolita and Tokyo Flavor, but I heard that the London Blue like time for pictures, like the meetup time, was only 30 minutes, which is really short.
It's meant to be 30 minutes for all of them.
Okay, yeah, that's really short because usually in Japan you get like an hour.
Well, actually, that was one thing that people were like really annoyed by. They were like the bupan, which is what
Yeah.
the lines are called. The bupan. They were like, the bupan are really short. They were like, typically, like Hyper Japan would do like, they were like, oh, they should do a 15-minute live or something, and then do 45 minutes of bupan time. And it was half an hour of live time for each group and everything, and then a half hour for the line time, for bupan time. Now, what I think annoyed a lot of people was that there was some groups there that for bupan, not many people turned up. Now, I'm going to use Anison Evolution as an example. During Anison Evolution's meet and greet time after their live, when I went, there were 3 people in line, including myself.
Oh, wow.
And then I think they had 1 or 2 come up throughout the rest of it. They didn't have a lot, so they were standing around a lot of the time. And I think it was the same for when they did their other live. So for a lot of people, they were like, what is the point of them doing that? If they know that no one's going to come to the bupan, why not cut that one short and then just give extra time to the other groups?
Mm-hmm.
But like, you can never actually understand what's going to happen at the time until it happens.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I was just like Anison Evolution, I went there and they're really sweet. Like the lady in Anison Evolution, like, she does keyboard. She'd come up to me actually whilst I was just walking around Hyper Japan. She was walking around it itself and giving people flyers and pointing herself out on it, which was really cool in my opinion, actually.
So what would you say your like difference in talk time was between the 3 groups, like when you went to meet them?
For meet and greet?
Yeah, like how much talk time do you think you got with each one?
Okay, so I think it was all about the same. I think it was about 30 seconds each way.
Okay.
Like for like checky ones, like especially like with the checky, you get the checky done and they give it to you and whatnot, and they thank you and everything, and you thank them, and you can talk a little bit before the checky as well. Mm-hmm. And if they're signing it, you get a further amount of 30 seconds or something about like that, as they're talking to you and signing it for you, which is really nice. actually.
So, like, the individual members of Tokyo Flavor that were signing the checky, you probably got the most time with that.
Yeah, I think so, actually, because they did the individual checkies, so, yeah. It was nice. Like, I mean, it wasn't overly rushed like a Hello Project meet and greet is.
Yeah.
Like, when I went to see Angela Moo in Paris this year, like, that was very quick.
It's really cool they even do it, though, because, like, that's not something they do in Japan, I don't think.
No? What, before the concert?
No, like, I don't think you can meet, like, Hello Project groups before the concert in Japan. I think, like, you have to specifically pay to, like, go to Handshake.
Yes. Yeah, that is a VIP treatment in Paris, well, for their lives. Like, we did it with Juice Juice, and Kyoto had a whole different event the second day for their last Paris live, but they're a bigger group, so that makes sense. So, yeah, or were a bigger group. But yeah, the Bupan time, I think it was about the same, except Tokyo Flavor, I think it was a little bit longer.
Are there any groups that you think would go over really well at Hyper Japan, like would be really popular with people from England or Europe that came?
Hokago Princess!
You think they would go over really well?
I'm talking to someone about it on Twitter, actually, and we're discussing it, and we're thinking of emailing Hokago Princess's management about it. But because of, like, their whole theme and their look, and also their sound, and also some of the singers in it, like Maika and Sasura, we think they'd go down really, really well.
And I think Sasura speaks English?
She does.
Okay, yeah. Do any of the other ones?
Mayumi does, but Mayumi graduates in August, so...
Okay. So any other groups that you think would be really good to bring over? Like not just like your personal bias, but I'll get to that after, but like any groups that you think would go over really well?
Oh god. Well, personal bias, one of us made that out. I don't know, like, the people who tend to go to Hyper Japan, the people who go for idols are generally, like, men at the end of the day, or people who've been into, like, Baby Metal. They're so big, but they would have gone down well. But they're too big for Hyper Japan at this point. I think groups like Denpagumi or something like that, or Bish, I think they'd go down well. Or any group that has Gravure girls in it, at least. Okay, speaking of biases, Ready to Kiss, but also Hokago Princess, they're both groups that, they both started out under Get Crazy, and Get Crazy, and which is Ready to Kiss is still under, like, Hokago Princess left it a long time ago. But they really do produce Gravure idols. It's how Nagasawa Marina got started, and she's now really big. Like, she's, like, not as big as Junamaki, but she is big. Like, I think Nagasawa Marina would be a good one if she still sang, but she doesn't sing anymore. She's just a Gravure idol. But Hokago Princess, I think they'd go down well because they're Gravure idols as well. And I'm not saying it's just because it's a population of men who go to these things, but, like, they really want someone to come who is a Gravure idol and a singer. And they're actually campaigning it now. And, like, I think she does a
Shinozaki Ai?
No. I need to find her now.
Okay, because I like Shinozaki Ai, like, she does a lot of Gravure, and that's what she's mainly known for, but she's a really good singer, too.
See, I think she might go down well as well then, but
she more, like, she was an idol, but now she more does, like, ballads and stuff, like, I would consider her more of an artist.
Love those sorts of things. Ena Fujita Ena.
Okay, I don't think I know who she is, but I'll look it up after, and I'll link in the description.
Yeah, I can, but, like, her picture, like, and a lot of people have been debating it on Facebook whether it would be good for Hyper Japan or not, because they're like, oh, she's not family friendly or anything, and, like, she does lives in clothes as well, but she is, I think, mostly a Gravure idol, and she does checkies in, like, her bikinis and whatnot, so it's like, I think her recent pictures of her holding a guitar while she's in underwear or wearing nothing, so... People are kind of, like, skeptical, but she'd be a good one because it seems that people really, really like her. They like her music, but again, like, given, like, who it seems to be, like, Hyper Japan, like, who the Idol Lives seem to be aimed towards. It seems to be a mostly male demographic, which probably isn't so like weird because it's the same in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, the Idol Lives I've been to, like the really big mainstream Idol Lives, like AKB, Hello Project, a lot of them have had a lot of girls. Like maybe I would say probably Hello Project had like a third girls, like AKB maybe like a fourth girls, Stardust close to 50-50. When I went
Yeah.
to like Takoyaki Rainbow and stuff, it was like almost 50-50 girls, boys. But like with underground stuff, it's definitely predominantly male. So I asked you what groups you think would go over well, but like your personal bias, which groups would you most want to see at Hyper Japan?
I agree, no, it's Hokage Princess, okay? I'm ready to kiss, but only because I want to see Miho. I don't know if many people know this, but Miho in Ready to Kiss was originally in Hokage Princess.
Okay.
But actually, Ready to Kiss was made up originally of former Hokage Princess members.
A lot of people really like Kisumi from Ready to Kiss because she used to be in Kamen Joshi Armor Girls
Yes!
as Miyu. So besides Hokage Princess and Ready to Kiss, any other groups you would like to see?
Mine, Musume, but they're too big. That's it, they probably could get the money to go. London Blue again, like 100% London Blue again.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I'd like to see Double And as well there, because Double And, Saki is so good. She's so cute. And she's a really good singer, and she does like gymnastics on the stage. So she'll do like cartwheels and handstands and stuff. But I really like her, so I'd like to see her come back. I think they're a good bunch. And Bumpy if they ever rebanded together. Just throw that out there. Iris as well. I think Iris would work really well.
They'd go down well because they do a lot of like anime songs.
Exactly, which is why I think they'd be perfect for it. But Agura Yui as well would be perfect for it.
Oh, she's so cute.
She is. She's adorable.
So if anyone listening to the podcast is interested in learning more about Deadlift Lolita, London Blue, Tokyo Flavor, how can they do that? Do you have any songs or videos you'd recommend?
So Deadlift Lolita, obviously they're a lot more well known.
Yeah.
And Deadlift Lolita will have their own channel and everything. They've got a song called Pump Up Japan, which is definitely their gimmick song, which is a song everyone will know. So I think that's a good way to get into them, just by their videos and everything. But there is a lot of content on Lady Beard himself anyway, so I think it's pretty easy to get into him.
Yeah. And like all their stuff is like subbed into English.
Yes,
or it's
exactly.
already in English.
But I think also listening to what the fans say about him is also a good thing, because that can help you to like them more. Like I was told beforehand, he's really nice and he's really fan oriented, so that helped me a lot. But yeah, I think just checking out their videos and seeing what they do, and like seeing how dedicated they are to just like, bringing this idea of macho-ness with cuteness to the idol scene, I think that's really nice. With London Blue, they don't have as much content out there, but you can find a few lives online if you really, really do look. Just like look at London Blue J-pop or something, or London Blue Midnight Lover will always bring something up, but you can see like lives that they do, like mini lives, like outdoor lives or conventions and stuff. They're really nice to see and everything, but they do have some PVs up now. Their PVs are a little on the cheap side, so don't be surprised if you see them and you're like, what the heck is this?
Uh-huh.
It does look cheap, let's be real. Midnight Lover especially. Midnight Lover's the song that they're known for, but I think that's a good song to listen to. But if you can find Angie anywhere, listen to Angie. It's such a good song, but I love Midnight Lover, so listen to Midnight Lover and see where that goes from there. But they have had a big lineup change since, so you won't recognise most of the members. Tokyo Flavor, they are going to be the difficult ones. That said, because they have been doing like lives in Thailand and everything, you get a few convention lives up there that you can listen to. And if you just look up Tokyo Flavor Alice, you'll find something. So it'll be okay. Like, but their Twitter is called, just look for Flavor Group on Twitter or Flavor something. So.
And yeah, I'll link. So they're all pretty active on social media, right?
Yeah, Flavor_official for Tokyo Flavor. They mostly promote Tokyo Flavor at this point, which is probably a bit, yeah, but that's a flagship group, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like you'll find stuff on there, and then you'll also find how they, like what they call the group with the kanji and everything. So just copy the kanji and just put it into YouTube and you'll find something. London Blue is a difficult one because London Blue is in all caps and it's all in English letters. So it is as it is, it's London Blue. They're the difficult one. You've just got to find the right name to put under it so that you know what you're looking for, like Midnight Lover or something like that.
Mm.
So London Blue, Midnight Lover, you'll find something, whether it's live or something like that.
And yeah, they're all active on Twitter and maybe
Yeah.
Instagram.
Oh, yes. Yes, they are. So Twitter, definitely London Blue. They will like what you have and they'll reply to you as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Tokyo Flavor, I'm pretty sure they follow you and they'll follow you back and they'll also like what you say and everything, but they don't really reply as much. Deadlift Lolita, they'll like and reply sometimes, I think, as well.
Yeah.
But you can message some of them, I think, so that's nice. I can message some of the London Blue girls, which is nice, so I guess you can send them personalised messages, just don't harass them, please. So yeah, that's good.
And yeah, I think Tokyo Flavor are on Showroom. London Blue might be on Showroom.
They might. I'm unsure, so
I'll link everything in the description if you want to get to know them, so just check that out. Okay, so any final thoughts about Hyper Japan itself, Deadlift Lolita, London Blue, Tokyo Flavor, anything else we've talked about?
Hyper Japan has allowed me to get back into London Blue, and it's allowed me to get into Tokyo Flavor as well, and it's just given me something. But like, I mean, I've done email interviews before, but I've not done live idol interviews, and now I have, and like, I'm still kind of in this bubble of it. Did that happen? Really? And I feel like I'm being like really kind of like bigging myself up by saying it, or just like being quite like, you know, just like big-headed. But I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful that Greg, who's the Selective Hearing boss, that he took me in when I was such a shit writer, and that he saw my potential, and that he's helped me this long, and I'm still a part of it, and that he gave me like what I needed, the stats and everything, to try and get that press pass for Hyper Japan, and that he's like supported me through all this, and that people who read my blog and whatnot, that they've congratulated me, or that they've helped me to see that this is something I can do, like, because I didn't think I'd get to this point. Let's be honest. It's like, and I feel like everyone who's like followed Okay Must My Time or Chiima Time or Selective Hearing and everything, I feel like they're the reasons that I've been able to get to this point now, because they've given me the confidence that I never had. The final thoughts are essentially, I'm so grateful and I'm so blessed, I've realised. And it's been a good opportunity, it's been great, and it's made me think about things.
And check out London Blue.
Check out London Blue. Jesus, check out London Blue. And Tokyo Flavor, like, oh my gosh, you should totally check out London Blue and Tokyo Flavor, like, because they're the ones that, like, are not as known. Dude, even check out Anison Evolution, like, their like, rendition of Chala, Chala is so good. Just check them all out. Check out Yukiko as well, I didn't even get to see her, but I know she's good, so.
Okay, well, thanks for being on my show, Chiima.
Yay, thank you!
And thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.